Had this support still been there, I probably would still be there.
In August 2024, social worker Kathleen Leonard made the difficult choice to walk away from the Peoria Unified School District.
There's been a systematic dismantling of this program over the past couple of years.
Federal and state grants fund most school social worker salaries. But moving forward, PUSD officials say they decided to use that grant money for school resource officers instead. Less than 2 years ago, there were 33 social workers in the district. But last year, many left, and the board changed the requirements to be a school social worker, saying they now had to be licensed.
Even though that's not a requirement of the school safety program grant, that they be licensed by the Arizona Board of Behavioral Health, it is a requirement that they be certified by the Department of Education, and all of them were certified by the Department of Education. And as people left, the district chose not to rehire those positions, even though they were still being funded.
Today, there's only 9 social workers left in the district, and all are on the chopping block. The board is expected to approve eliminating those jobs tonight.
So I'm not surprised, but I am very saddened by it.
PUSD is not the only Arizona school district doing this. In 2024, news reports show the same thing happened in the Apache Junction School District. The board got rid of social workers after COVID-19 relief funds ran dry. And in 2023, Dysart schools went through the same process because of the same reason.
It's highly concerning. Lots of times, those social worker positions in schools are a first line of defense against struggling kids.
Licensed clinical social worker Michael Klinkner and Leonard agree. Even without mental health professionals in schools, the need will still exist.
What could happen for a lot of kids struggling with mental health issues, they're not going to those SROs.
And the governing board meeting is expected to begin in about an hour at 6 o'clock. We're hearing it's going to be pretty packed inside. We'll keep you posted on how that meeting goes and what the final vote is. Reporting live, Michaela Marshall for Arizona's Family.